Okay, let's go ahead and get going, and let's go over all the things. When I get done rambling, Steph, I need you to finish this. Because we're going to make a deal. So, I did get those piecewise quizzes graded. So you're getting them back today. So the test is on Tuesday, which is why you picked up the study guide today. Okay, so let me explain. You have your giant packet hanging with you. Okay, so, you know, I was bound to make a mistake. I don't know why I keep doing giant packets. I need to let it go and just do one day at a time. I make a mistake every single time on a giant packet. Okay, the first couple should be the same. Like the very last page of your giant packet is the first page of the study guide. But bless my heart, I didn't copy the back page onto your packet. Hence why I just gave you a whole new copy. Because I was already going to kill the tree for half the page. Why not go ahead and put them on the front of the page too? So I'm giving you the study guide today. You don't actually have to do it or anything. You don't have to do this weekend. This is what we're going to do in class on Monday.
Okay.
But if you wanted to go ahead and get started, that way you could ask me questions on Monday if you're confused about something specific, that's a good idea. But I'm just giving it to you in advance because that just seems like the nice thing to do. The test is not till Tuesday. You have all day Monday to work on this. You do not have to do this weekend. I just wanted you to go ahead and have all the things. Okay, your piecewise quizzes some were really good, some were okay, a couple were bad. It is what it is. So I'm actually going to pass those out when I get done rambling. I'm going to offer the key for you to look at, but I'm going to let you keep it with a few rules. So you can keep it. Like, I really genuinely think if Nick took it home and learned whatever mistakes he made and fixed it, then maybe he won't do that same issue on the test. I get that. So I get why he wants to keep it. But if I see Nick's paper in Daniel's hands, then I'm going to give Nick and Daniel a 0 on it. Even though they already got a nice grade or whatever it is they got, I'm going to give them a 0. Your paper needs to stay with you. Your paper's not with you. I'm going to give you and the person I see it with a 0. No exceptions. No. Okay. Seth hasn't finished, and he's about to finish when I get done rambling. Angel hasn't finished either. So especially, I'm picking on poor Angel, she's down here. Especially poor Angel because she hasn't finished. For my people who scored high, that is really ugly of you. I'm not going to trust you and do nice things like this if suddenly miraculously she finishes all the things when she was stuck on something yesterday. You know what I mean? I'm not done. I try to be nice, and I'm not done. Okay, there was more to it than that. Maybe there wasn't. Okay. I felt like there was. Maybe there wasn't. No. Sorry. No. I know, ADHD is now for real kicked in. Oh, you do have homework this weekend. But my plan is to talk so fast and get all the things done. We only have a little left that we didn't cover yesterday. To talk so fast and get it all done that I could let you finish that in class. You could get it all done during class. And so Cassidy really doesn't have any homework. She should have enough time during class to get all the things done. I'm going to check it on Monday. Remember what happened last Monday when you didn't have your piecewise homework done and I was mad. You didn't know I was mad, but I now knew I was mad when I typed in all the 0s for those people. And I still hadn't untyped some of them, even though they finally turned it in. So, you know how it is. You got to get your stuff out. Okay, so I'm going to give you time in class today to work on that. There was something else. Maybe it will come with time. Okay. Graphing calculator. Before I go crazy and start saying all the things, if you need a graphing calculator for today, which you know we were using yesterday, go ahead and get one before my ADHD kicks in. 'Cause you know when you walk up here later, my ADHD will for real kick in. Okay, we're going to talk about them. We are going to talk about them. Okay. Let's go ahead and go over this math workshop. Today's are hard, so we're just going to take it one tiny step at a time and get tiny points along the way. First tiny point. Who do you think is correct? Gloria or Sarita? One of them actually is. Yes, dear.
Sarita's correct.
You think Sarita's correct? Does anyone think Gloria's correct? Everyone else is kind of lost on this one? Okay. I hate to break your heart. You learned this 2 years ago in Algebra 1. You learned systems. You did substitution, elimination, you solved by graphing. You spent a lot of time on this. This is technically elimination, where they do two equations and they eliminate a term. For instance, when they have these two equations, let me zoom in on them. So they have these two equations. One is 6x minus 4y equals 26. The other equation is negative 3x plus 4y equals negative 17. When we eliminate and we combine those two equations, the positive 4y and the negative 4y can't cancel out. That's why there's no y on this next line. That's why elimination was supposed to happen. Something was eliminated. 6x minus 3x is 3x. 26 minus 17, she said that's 9. She divided by 3. She got x equals 3. And then, kind of similar to what you and I have been doing lately, 4y equals 26. Everywhere she used to have an x, since x equals 3, she replaced it with a 3. So that's what she has on this line. 6 times 3 minus 4y equals 26. She said 6 times 3 is 18. 18 minus 4y is 26. She subtracted 18 from both sides. She said negative 4y actually equals 8. She divided by negative 4. She got y equals negative 2. That was her solution. So Gloria actually is correct. Because, I mean, I can't find anything she did incorrect in her work. So for the next point, now that you understand what's going on, look back over Sarita's work. Where did Sarita go wrong? Say it again. The negative 9. And so Gloria is correct. And then I would say because 26 minus 17 equals positive 9. And you could even like circle and draw an arrow to where she went wrong. Nick, you can have a point for that. Nick can have a point for catching the negative 9. Okay, are there any questions about that one? I agree. I don't know why we saved the doozies for Friday. Probably to drive me wild. Okay, 14 looks like another doozy, but again, we're going to do easy points along the way. This one has lots of points possible. First point, we talked about doing something different with this third equation. What were we supposed to do? We were supposed to put it in y equals x plus b. She had it out a little faster than you, dear. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're going to give her the point. So we're going to say y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 7. We subtracted by 2x on both sides. So we have y and then the x plus 7. Negative 2x plus 7. So then we graph like normal. Except this is a weird coordinate plane. It's not your normal negative 10, 10. I don't know why they decided to do a really weird one today, but they did. So we go up to 7. Can't go up 2, so I'll have to go down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. And I know I'm right because it was a negative slope, and I know negative lines lead to the left. I'm going to give AJ's group a chance to get a nice point. When I connect the dots, am I going to use a dashed line or a solid line? Because it's less than or equal to. Perfect. And your group gets a point. Hopefully yours looks more linear than mine. Mine has some funkiness going on. Okay. Now this is a little different than what we were doing before because we're going to end up graphing 3 different inequalities. But again, we're just going to take it one inequality at a time. Okay. Ellie, we'll let your group have this easy point. Less than or equal to. Are we going to shade below or are we going to shade above? Below. We're going to shade down here. Okay, so I did this one in purple. And if you're using colors, great. And if not, just shade a little darker when we start overlapping. Because our goal today is we're going to graph these 3 things, and we want to see where all 3 overlap. So as long as you bear down a little harder each time, or like, I guess it'd be obvious, like where we're bearing down the hardest is where they overlap. Okay, easy point available for any group. It's y is greater than or equal to 2x. What is the understood intercept on this graph? Oh, and Daniel said it out faster. So his group can have the point. So we're going to put our intercept at 0. We go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. up to over 1 would be there. My goodness, Miss Connie, ignore that. Down to over 1. Okay, it is greater than or equal to. So I am going to use a solid line. If we could erase the purple, we could erase our last example, and we just had this brown graph, this brown line only. It's greater than or equal to. Would greater than or equal to be on this side of the graph or on this side of the graph? If we're thinking about this brown line, ignore all the purple, just the brown line. It's greater than or equal to. Is it going to be on this side or on this side? I heard the right side, so this side down here, isn't that below the line? So wouldn't that be less than or equal to? If we had only that line, only, ignore the purple, we had only this line, wouldn't that be where less than or equal to happens? Because it's below the line. So we need to shade above the line because it's greater than or equal to, so we're actually going to shade up here. Now, I'm with you. Once you start graphing 2 or 3 on the same, you start getting a little confused about where to shade. I just pretend no one else is there, just my line, and then I pick left, right. Okay, our last inequality that we're going to graph is x is greater than or equal to 0, which is that straight line on the y-axis. Well, hopefully yours is straight. Mine went a little crooked there. So this is where x is greater than or equal to 0 lives. It was greater than or equal to, so I did a solid line. And now, since it's greater than, am I going to shade to the right side of this green line or to the left side of this green line? It is to the right side, but again, if you're confused, we discussed doing a test point. We're just in a hurry today, so we're not. But if you were lost, use the test point. And then if we actually read the problem, yes, we did part A. We graphed it. Woohoo, it looks a hot mess. Now part B actually makes it real. The vertices of the region formed by the solution. What kind of shape was formed by the solution? A triangle, and your group gets a point. Notice that the green, the brown, and the purple overlap exactly here. Because we only had green to the right of that axis. And so the only place they overlapped was this triangle. So you and I are in a hurry, so we're going to let it go from this point on. But it would be really easy to figure out, for instance, this vertice 0, 0. It would be really easy to figure out the 3 vertices from here. You've seen the triangle, you color it in, you just need to give an ordered pair to each of the 3 points. It would be really easy to finish out from here. Are there any questions about this one? Then let's go to your packet from yesterday. Okay, we were on page 27 to begin with. We were on page 27. We're going to go straight to page 28 on the bottom. Brief reminder while you're flipping. We talked yesterday about transformations of 3 different parent functions. Those parent functions were constant, linear, and absolute value. There are lots of other parents. Those are the 3 parents we're focusing on. Okay, when you transform something, you can translate it, which means you can move it left, right, up, down. When you transform something, you could reflect it, which means there's a negative sign out front and it flips over. It flips. Or you could dilate it, which is where you shrink or stretch it, but I like to call it fat or skinny. So, and we talked about a specific thing makes you fat. What makes you fat? Fractions make you fat. So if you see a fraction out front, it's going to be a dilation, and fractions make you fat. Okay, were there any questions? We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We did 7 graphing problems yesterday. Are there any problems with any of the graphing ones? Okay, someone pointed this out to me yesterday. God bless whoever did, because I completely forgot about this. You know how every time you get a new phone, it does cooler stuff than the previous phone? And you're just excited to figure out what the differences are? So I forgot there is a difference between a TI-83 and a TI-84. And it's kind of a cool difference. So Nick has the 84. When he is trying to graph, so he goes to y equals. He goes to math. You can't see what I'm doing. Whew. Okay. He goes to y equals. He presses math. and then he scrolls over to NUM and he sees ABS and he presses enter. When he does that on that fancy 84, it actually changes to bars for you. Bless your heart, if you borrow an 83, because it's the luck of the draw, these are communal calculators, you actually have to put it in parentheses. It doesn't change its bars, so if I want to graph x plus 3, I actually have to press the X button, then plus 3, and then close my parentheses. Which is kind of sad, but good news is, still graphs everything the same. So again, the only slight difference is when you're on the y = 2 screen, bless its heart, it doesn't actually change 2 bars for you. You have to be smart enough to understand ABS is standing in for absolute value, so it's representing the bars. I don't know why they didn't think to add the bars with the 83. That came with the 84 and the 89s and any others. Okay, so that's a tiny thing I need to say that I did not say yesterday. Were there any other questions about the calculator with the graphing? Okay, we talked yesterday about how I think I'm a genius, and that for when there's like a 3 out front, instead of going over 1 up 1, I go over 1 up 3. If you're like, I don't know what on earth you were talking about with 6 and 7 yesterday, no big deal. When you graph it, press table like Angel was saying, and then just literally plot those points. So -3, 0 is a point I would plot. -2, 1 is a point I would plot. I'm not going to know whether Seth actually did this in his head or if he used his calculator. As long as his graph is right on his paper, I'm really not going to ask that many questions. And I'm never going to take this bad boy away from Seth. Okay, so let's back up. We only have 7 problems we're doing today. The first one is number 1 on the bottom of page 28. That I need to know. I feel like we're on Jerry Springer or like Maury. I need to know who's the daddy, so who's the parent graph of this function. It's the absolute value, and yes. Okay, I'm just going to put abs val because I'm lazy today. Abs val is the daddy. And then I need to know what that +4 on the outside, how it transforms our function. 4. And you can just shout it out. And again, I promise, as long as you're doing all your work today, I'm going to move you to a straight path. We're going to get to one in a second where everyone hesitates, and you can save the day. Are there any questions on number 1? Gentle reminder, the +4 on the outside is different than the +4 on the inside. If you had, that actually moves you left to right, and it's opposite of what you think. So +4 actually moves you left. Just keep in mind that it does matter. Does matter. In fact, we wrote some useful notes on that yesterday. You could reference that on your chart. Okay, number 2. Linear is the daddy. I had someone last period who was confused on how you identify who the daddy is. If there's no x's, the constant function has to be the daddy. If there is an x, it's going to be linear's the daddy. And then if there are bars involved with your x, you know it's going to be an absolute value daddy. I don't know why I assumed y'all knew that. I just assumed you did. I don't know, because we practiced it yesterday for a little bit. But if you need to write that, you sure can, in case you're having trouble identifying the daddy. Okay, the -5 in number 2. How does that make me move? How does that make me move? It does make me move down 5. I needed more. We were unresponsive. It was sad. Okay. Who's the daddy on number 3? Okay, abs val is the daddy. Absolute value is the daddy. The +3 on the inside, how does that make me move? It does make me move left 3. So if we were going to graph it, we would genuinely pick up that parent function, that daddy, and we would move it left 3. Okay, now we get to number 4. Who is the daddy? This one is a hard one when we're discussing how it was transformed. Is this a translation? Is this a dilation? Is this a reflection? This is a dilation. So if you want to think about it, if we were to graph as something really fast, this is what the parent looks like going through 0. If we change our slope to 4, it's actually going to make us really steep. And that is a type of dilation. You know, if we're getting fat, skinny, getting steep is kind of like getting fat, skinny. You're kind of getting skinnier. in my mind. You can't see what I'm doing, can you? Bless you, Gilly. So some people last period wanted to say this was up 4, but if you don't see a plus 4, it's not going to be an up 4. Since the number is being multiplied by x, I kind of knew it was a dilation. Had to be. Okay, and then if Jax wants to put stretches, shrinks, makes you fat, I'm not going to care. I'm just going to put the word dilation, but as long as he is describing what a dilation does, I'm going to give it to him if there are any description problems on our test. Okay, and then God bless us 5, 6, and 7 are where we start doing 2 steps at once. Kind of like a typical woman. Can't do one thing at a time. Got to do it all. Number 5. And absolute value is the dad. If it is going to reflect, or you could put the word flipped, I'm good with either. And how do we know that? Because of that negative sign. And that -2 on the outside means we go down 2. So if we were graphing this, we would take that V, we would make it sad, we would move it down 2. And then lo and behold, we get super complicated on number 6. And I mean super complicated. Let's do this one thing at a time. Who is the daddy? Okay, we agree. Abs-val is the daddy. Let's do this one thing at a time. What is the 1/5 going to do? It's a dilation, but if you want to put the word, because again, fractions make you fat. So if you want to put fat because of fraction, I totally understand. What does the -1 inside the bars make you do? What does the +3 on the outside make you do? So this really wouldn't be that hard to graph. I mean, if we had the parent here, going through the origin, it's going to make me super fat. It's going to move me right 1, up 3, and then I'm super fat. Not a big deal. We practiced one like this kind of yesterday. Number 5 was like this yesterday. It's on the next page if you want to look at it. Okay, and then number 7 is on my nerves. Why is number 7 on my nerves today? What's wrong with the 6? It's with the x. And any other problem, have we had the 6 with the x? Okay, so we're going to look at it in just a second as it is. But for now, to humor me, we're going to modify it and put the 6 where we think it ought to go. Do we get to do this in real life and just put stuff where we want it to go? No, but I'm the math teacher and I can do what I want. Ha. So, because I want to, we will. Okay, so if this is what we have, which is what I wish we had, but we don't. Who's the daddy? Okay, Abs-val's the dad. What is the 6 on the outside make us do? It's a dilation. Are we going to end up getting fat or skinny? The +2 inside makes us move. The -4 outside makes us move. And that seems great. And if we had been given that, that would be accurate. And you and I, when we first saw, so to remind you what the sad problem was originally, it was this, y equals, and it had the 6 inside. That's a whole different question. Here's why that's a whole different question. When we put that 6 on the inside, not only does it mess with the dilation, but it messes with the 2 and the 4. Let me show you. So on my calculator. Come on, calculator. Let's go. Y equals. I'm going to type in both the brown and the purple. So let's see. If I type in the brown, so 6 math, Abs-val, x + 2, -4. And then math, Abs-val, 6x + 2, -4. Okay, first of all, did those graphs match? No. So are the brown and the purple the same thing? No. First, so you don't get to, in your fancy world, you don't get to just make it whatever you want. Let me get rid of the brown one and just graph the purple one. So you and I assumed, since it was a +2 and a -4, that would have picked up. You're going to be really mad at me because AP Stats gets mad at me all the time, and you can't do this, but these are mine. I paid for them with my school money. I worked hard for them, and I can do what I want with them, which sounds really ugly, and I don't know why I'm being so sassy today, but just let me do what I'm going to do. Okay, so normally we're at the origin, right? And the +2 -4 you would think would move you left 2, down 4, which is here. That's not where it moved. It moved to here. So again, that 6 is affecting things. So if someone were to give you that problem to graph, they're not going to give it to you to describe because that's just pure evil. But if they gave you that problem to graph, what would I do? I would either press trace and find out what points there were and plot them on my graph, or I would press second table and plot those points. So I say, oh, I can put a point at -312. I can put a point at -2.6, at -1.0, 0, -2, 1.4. Oh, look, I have all the points I can plot right here. So even if I don't really understand why the 6 inside and what it does, it's fine. Calculator can handle it. It's smart. And look, the screen's already erased and no one died. Stats like dies every time I do that. I don't know why. Okay, are there any questions about this? I hope they watch this YouTube video and hear I talk about it. Okay, then I'm going to let you work on all the pages, and I'm going to give you back your piecewise quizzes. But again, if I see your piecewise quiz and someone else's